boxing scene with promoter of DiBella Entertainment and the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion, Paulie Malignaggi, Lou DiBella.
OnFire, always a pleasure to be on boxing scene.
Likewise, Lou.
One of the more honorable of websites. Doesn't take advertising for whores like me.
We appreciate
I respect that. Rick Reno, good job, bro.
What do you think about Paulie Malignaggi's performance tonight?
I don't think it was his best night of his career, but I thought that he fought a terrific young fighter, and I think that he won clearly. I had an 8-4. I was sitting on press row. Tim Smith and Franklin McNeil, some other guys had it 9-3, Paulie, but then there were guys sitting next to them that thought it was real close. So, I think that part of it was, I think the other kid landed some power shots, but I thought the other kid missed constantly. I thought Paulie's defense was generally great, except for that one round where he got buzzed bad. I thought the jab was working great, and I thought that Paulie, really dominated rounds. The rounds were close, and they were competitive, but I had Paulie winning clearly. I want Ricky Hatton, man. I want Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton, you probably weren't that impressed tonight, bro. I mean, come to New York, man. Let's go Madison Square Garden. Let's go for it.
Do you hope that Paulie's somewhat lackluster performance reels in Ricky Hatton to try to make a fight with Paulie as quick as possible?
Well, look, I mean, a lot of guys look at Paulie and they say, okay, he can't break an egg, so I want him. Well, now go try and beat him. Hit him in the ass. See if you can hit him in the ass. I think that Paulie, with respect to Ricky Hatton, is like Mayweather light. And I think that among the 140-pound champions, I think Paulie is Ricky Hatton's worst nightmare. But if you're Ricky looking at the fight tonight, I'm sure Ricky saw some things tonight he liked. So, if Ricky wants to come to the table and they want to do the fight next, we're interested. We're also interested in going to Manchester. Let Ricky, Ricky deserves the acclaim he gets. He's incredibly popular, has a whole country behind him. He came down, and I give him respect for trying as hard as he did against the best fighter in the world, and there's nobody close to Floyd Mayweather. And so if he wanted us to go to Manchester and fight on a doubleheader with him to set up a matchup with Paulie and Hatton for the title, we'd be very interested in doing that. A doubleheader in Manchester. We'd love to go to Manchester. I think Manchester's a great town. I'll go throw down some Guinness with some of my friends in Manchester and set up a big fight later in the year. But 2008, it would be a shame and a real mistake if boxing doesn't put together Hatton Malignaggi. Hatton Malignaggi is a super fight.
If that fight doesn't happen next, as Paulie's promoter, will you keep him busy 3-4 times this year?
One of the things I think Paulie won clearly tonight, and I was pleased with his performance, honestly. But I don't think he was as sharp as he could have been, and I think the layoff was too much for a young fighter. He's been off since he fought Ndu in June. In June. I mean, he's never had a layoff as a pro that long, and that was because of a lack of television dates. We can't have layoffs like that. So Paulie's going to get back in the ring 3 or 4 months no matter what. And we're going to fight 3 to 4 times this year, probably 4. Maybe we go to Sicily. If we don't do a doubleheader in Manchester, maybe we go to Italy and let Paulie defend in Italy for the first time. Maybe he does the rematch with Ndu in Italy. I want to keep him active. I want him in the ring. If there was I thought his performance tonight was very solid because I thought he fought an excellent young fighter, and I thought he beat him clearly. But if there was anything that you were going to say to criticize, you'd say he looked a little rusty. He didn't look 100%. His timing was a little bit off, and I think that's because he had such a big layoff.
Lou, no matter what, when he fights, will it be on Showtime again? Showtime stood up and gave us this opportunity. We're going to stand up and give Showtime the opportunity. So, I'm not going to guarantee it's on Showtime, but Showtime's going to have every opportunity to televise Paulie's next fight, and they deserve it, man. They came to the table and they gave him this chance, and I think that they were very happy with what they got tonight. They got a sold-out room with a lot of energy and a terrific fight between 2 good young fighters. Lou, what it comes down to is getting the W, something that Paulie did tonight. You worry about looking good the next time. Do you agree?
Yeah, man, and you know what? I still think he looked good, but I accept the fact that it wasn't his best night. But I want to tell you something, man. Herman and Goju's no joke. So you look at the resume that he's building. He's beaten good fighters, and this kid tonight in Goju is a good fighter. And I expect at some point in Goju to win a world title because I think he's that good.
Lou, before you go, talk to us about February 16th and the rematch between Jermain Taylor and Kelly Pavlik.
Pay-per-view, February 16th, HBO pay-per-view. It doesn't get much better than that. I think that among the big fights of 2007, that was the most dramatic, the hardest hitting, the most fun fight to watch. And we're going to come in, Aram and I are going to deliver an undercard that's going to be sensational. Fernando Montiel Aram's putting a fight together at 115 pounds between Fernando Montiel and Martin Castillo. If you're a boxing fan, that's a terrific matchup of 15-pounders. I'm putting together a matchup of Christian Maharis against Jose Navarro. That's a terrific matchup of 15-pounders. Ronald Hearns is going to be on the card against a young kid with a terrific record and an 8-rounder, because I want the world to see that Hearns, when you start talking about guys like Chavez Jr., Ronald Hearns is right in that category. And, we're going to deliver the same way I tried tonight. If you were in the arena, you got to see it. If you were in Showtime, you didn't. But this card tonight, from beginning to end, was sensational. There was entertainment from beginning to end. And on our pay-per-view show on February 16th, Aram and I are going to deliver entertainment from beginning to end. And I think my guy, Jermain Taylor, is going to reverse the result this time, and you're going to see Taylor Pavlik 3 later in 2008, because we're going to get that win February 16th on pay-per-view, on HBO pay-per-view. Look for Jermain Taylor to knock Kelly Pavlik out, reverse that decision. There's going to be a third and final deciding fight.
Lou, before you go, the people in the metro area want to know, is Broadway Boxing coming back to the Manhattan Center?
Is coming back on March 5th. We're going to be announcing very soon Broadway Boxing. We're looking at March 5th. I'm hoping that that's the definitive date, so I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth. But we're coming back late February or early March. I believe the date's March 5th. There'll be an announcement very soon.
As always, Lou, we appreciate your time.
Good
Congratulations tonight.
Also, February 9th on HBO, I got two guys fighting. Andre Berto, best young welterweight in the world, will be opening a Boxing After Dark show. We'll be announcing the opponent in the next few days. In the main event, Paul Williams, who's a tremendous young fighter, will be fighting Carlos Quintana, who I promote, and I think that'll be a terrific show.
Thanks again, Lou.
Always a pleasure. OnFire, Aguirre.
Thank you.